Hi guys, this is Team 12. Today we'll discuss how hormones and drugs interact with nervous system. First, let's talk about hormones. Hormones are chemical messengers secreted into the bloodstream. They are chemically similar to the neurotransmitters, but travel further and exert their effects on many different target tissues. Hormones can influence behavior by affecting body growth, metabolism, and brain activity. Well, for the body growth, they can affect the growth of the peripheral bodily structure, including muscles and bones, and in that way influence the body and thereby influence behavioral capacity. And for the metabolism, hormones affect metabolism process throughout the body and thereby influence the amount of energy that is available for action. Thus, for the brain activity, hormones act in the brain in ways that influence drives and moods. Hormones effect can be long-term or short-term. For the long-term effects, some of them occur before birth. For example, almost all the anatomical differences between newborn boys and girls are caused by the hormone testosterone, which is produced by the male fetus but not by the female fetus. At puberty, the increased production of sex hormones, especially testosterone in the male and estrogen in the female, stimulates a new set of growth process that further differentiate males and females anatomically and thereby influence their behavior. The short-term effects of hormones range in duration from a few minutes to many days. In response to stressful stimulation, for example, the adrenal cortex secretes various hormones, including cortisol, which are sometimes referred to as stress hormone. These hormones produce a variety of effects throughout the body and thereby help the animal in the stressful stimulation. For example, they release sugar and fat molecule into the blood to supply extra energy for possible flight or fight, and this suppress inflammation caused by the wounds. Well, next, who control the production of hormones? The pituitary gland control hormone production by other glands, but it itself controlled by the brain.
Well, now I'm going to talk about how the drug is interacting with the nervous system. A drug is, in the broadest of terms, a chemical substance that has known biological effects on human or other animals. The similarity between hormone and drug is that they are both carried by the blood and taken up in target tissues in various parts of the body. The difference is that hormone is produced in the body and drug is introduced from the outside. How drugs get into the bloodstream? Drugs are introduced into the blood by mainly four ways: by intravenous injection, by taken orally, by inhalation, by intramuscular injection. How drug acts on the brain? To act on the brain, a drug must be able to pass through the blood-brain barrier. The blood-brain barrier is formed with walls of capillary and other cells surrounding them, which helps protect the brain from poisons. In general, fat-soluble substances pass through easily, such as alcohol. How drugs can alter synaptic transmission? The drug used to alter a person's mood or behavioral capacities work by enhancing synaptic transmission in the nervous system. In normal synaptic transmission, neurotransmitter molecules are released from the presynaptic neuron, diffuse across the narrow synaptic cleft, and then bind to the membrane of the postsynaptic cell and alter its activity. How drugs act at different levels of the behavior control hierarchy. Drugs that act at a particular level of the hierarchy have behavioral effects that are consistent with the functions of that level. Curare is a drug that acts at the lowest level. It competes with acetylcholine at the nerve ending, preventing nerve impulses from activating skeletal or voluntary muscles. L-DOPA is a drug that acts higher up in the movement control hierarchy, which is used to treat Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is caused by the degeneration of certain neurons. It might seem proper to treat symptoms by dopamine. However, L-DOPA is a precursor in the synthesis of dopamine, can cross the barrier instead of dopamine, and once in the brain, L-DOPA is converted into dopamine. Psychoactive drugs are the drugs that work at the highest level of the behavior control hierarchy because they influence process that we think of as psychological. They function in altering mood or level of arousal, including such everyday examples as caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol.
Created using Powtoon.